Okay, Itamekskanaatoni, good morning. It is Thursday, April 5th, 2018, in the lunar cycle Sa'akisam, the duck moon. And since it's a Thursday, it's also time for my weekly update, so I thought I'd just bring my camera along with me on this round and update in that manner. And I've got an early start on it today. I got up about a half hour ago, quickly took care of my animals, threw on some clothes, and made it out here to Henderson Lake to check on the progress of Easter on this island. I brought a bag with me, hoping that there would be some eggs to collect, and there's really not. Or if there is, the geese haven't touched them overnight, and so there's no indication of where the caches are. There's probably a couple of eggs in here, but there's really only 3 pairs of geese out here on the lake who are kind of claiming this island as theirs, at least at the moment. And yeah, this is definitely the odd year coming out here almost a week after the full moon, and still no decent egg caches. Yeah, and even if the geese were laying eggs, the nests would not be viable. It's just too cold. The eggs are gonna freeze. So yeah, this is gonna be a really interesting year to see what happens with these geese. Guess I'll leave this place alone again for several days, maybe a week or so. But I'm worried about being able to even get back out here again, because I can't keep crossing this water without risk. Yeah, the lake is frozen now, and it's been consistently pretty cold, so I don't think it's unfreezing in the next few days. But we've been getting snowfall, and when this snowfall melts on top of the lake ice, I think that's going to be it. So I think when we get our Chinook or what have you, it's going to be done. But still ice fishing going on out here on the lake, so I'm not the only one braving the ice. I was worried today though, a little bit. I shouldn't be, but because I know this ice is pretty safe, but I wrapped my cell phone in a Ziploc sandwich bag in my pocket just in case it went under. Of course, the GoPro is waterproof, so if I did go through, you guys would all get to experience it as well. But yeah, lots of stuff ahead in this day for me, so I'll just bring the camera along and show you what I can. So as you can see, Mandy's doing good. Everything's still on the up and up with her. She'll be getting her release signed by her doctor pretty soon, be going home. Nah, she's eating good, she's pooping good. In fact, after I straightened out her enclosure this morning, I later went out and bought her a little mouse and popped it in there. Decided I'm not going to show any more of the feeding sessions with Mandy, because we all know now that her jaw is working good, and it's just kind of overkill on the mouse brutality. got a couple of messages from people that were saying, it might be enough, either that or leave a warning, you know, that there's something coming up. So, but no, Mandy's doing good, and really won't be long now before she'll be going home. Last year, this time, rattlesnakes were already up out of their dens sunning. So that's not this year, but as soon as nature decides to flip the switch, they'll be coming out. So, and Mandy will be going home. Nothing new with the crow's room. Waiting for warmer weather to deal with that. And yeah, after I was done with my chores this morning, I had an afternoon lunch focus group with some Indigenous students at Lethbridge College. Couldn't take the camera in there, of course, because it's part of the research, and the participants were to remain anonymous, so wouldn't do good to be showing them on YouTube or anything. And then after that, I ran across town because I got a message every time that a wild animal in Lethbridge gets hurt and somebody kind of seeks help on the web, usually through social media. I end up getting tagged. I end up getting tagged in it, and they end up getting directed to me. So everybody knows that I've got a heart for the animals and can't easily turn my back. So anyway, sounds like a crow was hit by a car a couple of days ago on the north side of town, and a family picked him up, wanted to help him, and they couldn't find any help, so they were directed to me, and I told them, well, I'll come and bandage him up and give you instructions and stuff, how to work with him and take care of him and everything. But you got to know that birds with broken wings, you know, almost never heal to be able to fly again. In fact, the only birds I've been able to heal like that have been magpies. I think magpies might have some special mojo to help heal their bones, but most birds, they're not going to be flight capable. They might be able to use their wing, you know, extend it and move it and everything, but not enough to fly. Not enough to fly. So I told them I'll come take a look at it and wrap it up and everything, but you're gonna need to face the reality that this bird probably has to be adopted into a domestic situation, or, you know, some kind of educational setting, a zoo or something of that sort. And I don't have the means to take it, because I don't. I already have really plenty of animals at my house, and I know that the season for fledglings is going to be coming right up, and people are going to be leaning on me a lot. I'm going to be having to find adoptive homes for birds. So I told them, you know, I can't take the bird. I can just help you wrap it up and mend it. So I went over to their house, and as soon as I sat down with the bird and opened up his wing to look at it, I knew, you know, this is not a good situation, because all the flesh, you know, on the inside of the wing was torn off, not all of it, but a lot of it, such that, you know, all the bones and stuff in there were visible. That in itself is not something that I haven't dealt with successfully before. Kira, my biggest crow, my oldest crow, when I picked her up after being hit by a vehicle, she was in really, really bad shape, like compound fractures, tendons, you know, sticking out, all the flesh ripped away, like muscles ripped away. And, you know, she survived. She survived, and even had a little bit of exercise with her wing. At one time she was kind of trying to physiotherapy herself back into flying. I think she got to the point where she could flap, jump up, spin a circle, and land back down. And that was it. And then she started giving up. I don't know why she didn't want to continue the exercising, but maybe she got hurt or something. I don't know. Any case, that would be okay. I could work with that, but on the side of its body, that crow that I saw today, the side of his body was literally just open, and I could look inside of his body cavity. I could see organs and such, and big muscle groups. So I told them my recommendation is that they should bring the bird to a vet and get it euthanized. So that's what they're going to do. I very rarely would suggest that, just because it's not, not part of my principles and philosophy. I only work for continued life, not for death. It's a shoveler duck down here. You're not gonna be able to see it with this camera, but down here in the water, it's my first shoveler sighting of the year. So yeah, that crow, I recommend they euthanize it. So after all that, I came home. Probably should have filmed a little bit of the crow thing, but I was gonna film. I brought the camera inside. Actually, I was gonna film my bandaging. I didn't think to film just when I first was looking at the bird and inspected it, and first kind of like getting the family comfortable with me being there. I didn't want to pull out the camera quite then, but so it didn't go any further. Anyway, came home, thought I was done for the day, kinda, and then one of my relatives phoned me up, needed a ride. Her car had gone kaplooey the other day, and they need it to get to work. So it was a transmission issue. It's gonna cost in the range of $3,000 to fix it. So they went to an auction and bought another vehicle instead. So they just needed a ride over to pick up that other vehicle. So we did that. Then I came home and decided to take a walk. And the reason I wanted to take a walk was because at my focus group we had pizza, and I've been doing really good all week. Like, my nutrition this week has been just awesome. I've been eating all healthy stuff and not too much, and not a lot of late night snacking. A little bit, hard not to do any, but I've tried to keep it pretty healthy even at that, the late night snacking. And I've been monitoring my calorie intake since I need that summer body, like like everybody else. Got to get rid of the winter chub. And so I've been moving in that direction with nutrition and everything. And there was pizza there today, so I ate pizza. I ate 2 pieces there on the spot, slices of an extra large pizza, 2 slices. And then we had a lot of extras, a lot of leftovers, so I brought a whole extra large box full of a couple different kinds of pizza home, because I figured the girls would want to eat some. And then I ate another piece as well. So I've eaten 3 pieces. So I need to burn some of that stuff off. And I don't like running or doing really hard exercise at the end of my day. I like to do that at the beginning. So but I figure at least a good walk, down and back up to the river should take care of some of it. But it's been kind of difficult to I mean, I really enjoy taking these walks and everything, but there's something going on this afternoon that I'd love to be just focused in on YouTube and other media outlets about, and that is Conor McGregor becoming a terrorist. My buddy Nigel just messaged me, Conor McGregor's a terrorist. Yeah, I guess things have gone crazy in Brooklyn today. I just seen a little bit of the video footage before I left the house when things were just hitting. Dana White was on a video, and then shortly after that, like minutes maybe, there were a couple of different videos that showed parts of the scene of, live what was happening at that time when Conor and his thugs went in and started raising a ruckus. So yeah, I'm curious, in the hour or two that I'll be out here walking around, I'm curious what's gonna unfold in my absence. The guy, if he feels pressed into a corner, he could do something really crazy, I don't know if he'll feel like that, but it's probably he'll just contact his lawyers and have them contact the police and settle it all, without having to engage with any of it directly himself. We'll see. But sure makes some excitement. Didn't know this was going to be a Conor McGregor day at all, right? I'm looking forward to this weekend's fights. Don't think I'm going to order them. I just can't afford them. But I'm sure I'll see the fights all the same. Next week, there's fights here in Lethbridge. I'll be working with the Combat Sports Commission here to help officiate those. And there's also a guy coming from Winnipeg. I forget his name. But he's somehow associated with Big John McCarthy or something, I think. But he's coming here to put on a clinic for us, a kind of a reffing clinic Saturday morning of next week, and then a judging clinic in the afternoon. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Perks of being on the Combat Sports Commission, since it doesn't pay an honorarium or anything. Oh, some little chickadees. I didn't bring any seeds. I brought nothing, I'm sorry. I always forget to bring seeds for those guys. What else is happening in the life of Rye? I don't know. This week, I've really been focused on cleaning up my nutrition, getting some exercise in. I've been running again a little bit, taking long walks, doing some weightlifting, and gotta get myself back into decent shape. Can't be going into the summer looking like I do. So yeah, that's been a big thing this week. Been doing my research work. And what else has gone on? Not a whole heck of a lot. It's been kind of a quiet week. Oh, tonight is the night that everybody puts out their garbage cans, right? Last week, I don't know if you saw my last week's update, but at the end of the video, we're going into April 1st, and we had trash pickup. And so I decided to kind of just not really challenge myself, but just see whether or not I needed any trash picked up for the month of April. So I had them empty my trash bin with that pickup. And this week, I haven't put a single bag of trash into that bin. Our one trash bin in the kitchen is getting to where it's gonna be full in a day or two, maybe. That'll be the first bag that I throw in that bin for the city, and that bin can hold, 5 or 6 of those bags. So it's possible could go well into May before I have to use the service. And I'm just curious because we pay for that service and everything, and but I don't feel like I have to use it that much. So I want to kind of monitor it and see exactly how much I do use it. And it's hard not to be critical of the others, right? Because you see people up and down the street. Every family has their trash bin out there, and most of them are loaded. Most of them are good and partly full. Pretty close to full, if not full. And from a week, like the only explanation is that people don't compost and recycle. Because if you compost it and you're recycling what's recyclable, there's really no excuse to be having your trash picked up every week. Anyway, it's an ongoing experiment, but that's where it stands. 0 bags in the big trash bin as yet. And I think that might be it, Unless something else crops up tonight, I'll leave it at that as my weekly update and go into the weekend, see what happens.